Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life and your business, your health, fitness, mindset and body from where you are right now to being unstoppable. And I'm in the mobile studio again today. So I'm returning from another hospital visit to my daughter who is doing well. Had a meeting with the doctors and hopefully she can be home within as little as a week's time, but we will see. It's up to her. Today I had a coaching call with one of my clients, and yesterday it was declared that we're going into an extended lockdown due to COVID in my home state here. They're saying another 7 days. Chances are it could go longer than that. It really just depends on how things play out and the decisions, whether they're political or otherwise, that the government wants to make. But of course what it does is whenever there's a lockdown, this is the fourth lockdown, I don't know what number extension we're up to in terms of lockdowns, but it's another thing that wears down people because they don't know when they're going to come out of it. And the fact that we homeschool our children, the pressure that puts on people, and whatever other triggers that people have firing off as soon as they know that they're being locked down. I guess you could see that people have their liberties taken away. There's only 5 reasons that people can leave their home. As of midnight tonight, country Victoria, I live in CBD Melbourne, but the country Victoria are going to have their restrictions lifted. There are things like gyms and certain environments that will still be closed, but basically they'll be able to get back to what it is that they're doing, hospitality and all that kind of stuff, but we're still locked down here. And of course, when you tell somebody this is what you can't have, even whether they're using it or not, whether people are mainly staying at home before or not, but as soon as they're told that, well, you now can't do that, people kick up a stink. And, rightly so. I mean, I guess we've been spoilt in our country with what it is that you can do, the freedoms that we have in society. But what I was talking to my client about, who said that she's going through a bit of a tough time with the homeschooling and her mental state, I started talking to her about working out what were her musts, what were the absolute keys that she had to do every single day to make sure that she was taking care of her health, her body, and most importantly, her mindset. And not to do it during the phone call, but to go away and take some time to write down what are those key things that are absolute must for her. And that's what I would encourage you to do as well. Right now, we're going through something that we have been through before. Each time it happens, it feels a little different. We've got different things going on in our life or at different stages of our life. And each situation can be dealt with in at least 2 ways. The current lockdown, you can see it as being, these are all the things that I can't do. I want to blame people. I want to feel sorry for myself. This is what is happening to me right now. I can't do this. I can't do that. I want to blame the government. I want to go and picket because they're locking us down again. I don't want to wear masks. All of that kind of stuff. Or another approach is to say, just get on with it. Whatever action you're going to take, it's not going to change the government's mind. I mean, you've got well-renowned journalists and so forth speaking out. You've got protesters protesting. It's not having an impact on changing any of this stuff. It's going to remain in place. So you can just deal with it. Or you can dedicate your time to being grumpy about it and fighting it and seeing if you can get some change. But my approach is, well, it is what it is. I'm going to focus on what I can do with this time. I'm not going to waste energy on doing any of that negative, disempowering stuff. I'm going to focus on what I can do. And what I spoke to her about was asking yourself 3 questions about what's the opportunity, what's the growth in this for me, and how can I learn from this? And as soon as you start asking yourself those questions, your whole way of looking at things completely changes. How do I know that? Because I used to play the victim. I used to look at things half empty. I used to want somebody to come along and fix all my issues. But when I started to ask myself these questions, things started to become different. The other thing that I'm doing right now, obviously, once a day, I'm spending half a day in the hospital with my daughter. I'm driving about an hour each way to get there, come back home. I need to find better ways to spend my time, but I also, and so what I'm doing is obviously recording this as I'm driving, but I also have worked out over a long period of time, what are those key musts for me in order to be operating at my optimal and achieving my goals. So let me walk you through a little bit of my mindset breakdown and see if you can maybe learn something from this for yourself. I'm very driven. I'm very focused on growing and succeeding every day. When this fourth lockdown came second week, but when this lockdown was announced, I thought, fantastic, these are all the things that I can do during this time. So I was looking at that opportunity, the growth, what can I learn from it? The trouble with that was, my daughter's in hospital and I'm spending half a day there. So right now I feel a little torn because I need to be there and I want to be there for my daughter and spending that time with her. But there's that other side of me that wants to continue growing and keeping on pushing. So I have to be careful with how I manage that so I don't beat myself up for spending time doing the right thing, being with my daughter, and still being able to achieve a level of growth and a level of satisfaction in doing those things that fulfills me and satisfies me. But it's a challenge because I want to keep growing and I think, man, I'm missing out on spending this time doing these things. But I try and stop myself and say, but look at what you are doing for your daughter. And she really appreciates it. She never wants me to go when I leave, but obviously I can't stay there all the time. And she's doing well, so it's good from how the hospital stays working for her. But that's the tussle that I have with that. But in doing that, if you took a step back from this and looked at all the stresses that I have in my life right now, what I'm trying to do with my business and everything, you could quite rightly understand that I may let some things fall through the cracks. I may not want to do the level of training that I've been doing, the intensity that I've been doing, sticking to my meal plan completely, making sure that I'm filling myself with all the supplements that I need to fulfill myself. I mean, you could quite rightly say, oh man, you're under so much pressure, so much stress. Of course it makes sense that some of those things are going to slide by. I could stack a case for saying, well, I'm not doing these things because of this. And people say, oh, you poor thing. You know, it's easy to do that. But I don't, because it's me. And I'm in control of my thoughts. I'm in control of what it is that I do with my time. Even though some of it may be directed by certain events that happen, I'm the one that can determine how successful I'm going to be in these situations. So over a long period of time, I've worked out my key musts. And that is that I have to keep doing my exercise. I do 3 strength sessions a week. I know I need to get in at least my 8,000 steps a day, so that's good for my back, because if my back isn't right and I'm sitting a long time, I know that impacts my workouts. If my workouts are impacted, I know that impacts my state of mind. If my state of mind is impacted, I know that infects, I say infect, but affects my nutrition. I know that affects just my overall state of mind in being successful and am I achieving my goals. So I know that I need to do my workouts. I know I need to get my steps in. I know I need to be sticking to my meal plan. I know that I need to get 5 to 6 highly nutritious meals into my body every single day. I know I need to be drinking 3+ litres of water a day. I know I need to get my supplementation in every single day. I just know that I need to get those things done. Otherwise, I don't function in the way that I want to. And that doesn't feel good. Over a period of time, I've found that does have an impact on my mental state. I don't want it to have a negative impact on my mental state. I want to thrive. I want to be focused. I want to have energy. I want to be the best dad that I can be. I want to be the best coach that I can be. I want to be the best person for me in my success strategy. And they're the things that they're not negotiable. I have to do them no matter what is going on in my life. Otherwise, I will suffer at some point. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may be the end of this week, it may be next week. But at some point, I have learned over time that this is what happens to me. So that's why they are non-negotiable musts for me. This is what I also spoke to my client about today. I said, you need to determine what these things are for you because you're flip-flopping between these struggles. And I said, the reason that you're doing it is because you're not focusing on that bigger picture of what's important to you. I said, the reason that I do the things for me is because I've attached it to something bigger than me. It's what I'm wanting for my health. And it's not just for me, that's part of it, but it's for others as well. I can't be the best coach. I can't be the best dad. So therefore I need to make some changes to make sure that I am doing that. And so you can do this too. Most people don't work out what are those absolute must, non-negotiables that they must do every single day. I'm not talking about just over the course of a week. I'm talking about every single day. What are those non-negotiables for you that you absolutely must do? I didn't know this for many years, but I worked it out over those years to determine that this is why I'm falling back down from time to time. This is why I'm not as focused as I can be. And by asking those 3 questions, when the crap hits the fan, what's the opportunity here? Where's the growth in this? How can you learn from this? When you ask yourself those questions and you immerse yourself in the answers, you can't be negative because it's impossible to be positive and negative at the same time. So put yourself in that mind space and you'll get far better outcomes. So that's my homework for you today. Write down what your musts are, work it out, and stick with them. Now, if you want to connect with me, go to thementaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, opt in for your free consultation. Let's connect. Let's make 2021 your best year yet, because I'm going to make it my best year yet, no matter what's going on, despite the uncertainty of what's going on with my family life, my daughter, what's going on with my business, what's going on with COVID. Because when you've got a reason to succeed, you will find a way to do it no matter what. Stay safe, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.